Hey guys, I'm back in Encinitas, California to drive the all-new Toyota BZ4X electric car. Those impressions will be embargoed until the 12th, so definitely come back then. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about its upscale brother, the Lexus RZ 450e. We're over at Japanese scoop site Creative Trend. Announcement is April 20th for the new Lexus RZ 450e. This is their second fully electric vehicle, but the first for most of the world. Parts of the world get the UX 300e, which has not been built from the ground up to be an electric car. This RZ will be built on the ETNJ platform, probably built alongside the BZ4X and the Subaru Solterra at the Motomachi plant. So they're saying that there will be a teaser site starting on April 5th, which is, I don't know, 5-6 days from the time of this recording. So if there is a teaser site that goes up, then you better believe I'm going to post it for you guys and we'll explore it together. But that is just kind of the teaser site, because there's going to be an official announcement April 20th. Now they're saying that there could be car media talking about driving impressions and things like that, but more than likely what's going to happen, just like what they did last year with the big battery electric vehicle announcement for Lexus and Toyota, it's just going to be a press release initially. And I don't expect to probably drive the car maybe till HQ Confidential 2022, or even after that later in the fall, where Lexus could have a full-on media drive for the RZ 450e. But they're saying that grade composition, price range, and main equipment of the RZ will be released here. I think equipment and information on the design, interior, exterior, and rough availability will be announced, but I'm not going to get my hopes up for price range, because Toyota and Lexus really wait to the last second to get the price where it needs to be for that specific market it's being sold in. Grade composition is a possibility, because with the BZ4X, at least for America, they announced 2 grades right off the bat, the XLE and the Limited. I'll try to drive both of them today. We'll see what kind of availability is like with the press cars down there, but I can't wait to drive it anyways. It's going to be kind of a glimpse into what the RZ be based off of, if you know what I mean. Built in the same factory, same platform, same sort of workers, Takumi craftsmen, building these fully electric vehicles alongside the GR Corolla and the GR Yaris and the LC 500. Like, the Motomachi plant is absolutely incredible. Anyways, I can't wait to tour that plant one day. So we're going to talk about more details here. They're saying that the RZ's release date won't be announced. Well, of course I wouldn't expect that with the vehicle announcement. And they're saying that the supply chain is going to really make things difficult for nailing down a release date. And of course, release date in Japan could definitely be release date from anywhere else in the world. Now they're saying there's a possibility the RZ will be a subscription or lease only purchase method like the BZ4X. But again, that's specific to Japan. Now, this will be the first vehicle on Lexus's lineup that will have the Direct4 technology. It's supposed to be their advanced all-wheel drive system. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it's much different than what we see in the Subaru Solterra and the BZ4X. It's just the Lexus badging of the X mode from that vehicle. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a little bit more sophisticated, but more than likely that's what Direct4 will be. Conversely, Direct4 will also be in some of the hybrids coming from Lexus. So it'll be interesting to see how they integrate Direct4, which could again be a Subaru all-wheel drive system, or at least the technologies based off of Subaru upcoming in Lexus hybrids. If we go to Best Car Web, another Japanese magazine and scoop site, they have estimations on what the power figures and battery figures will be. They're saying 90 kilowatt hours, which I think is very plausible. And the reason is Lexus has been on the record, at least I've spoken to Lexus employees saying they think that a larger battery pack and a higher cost vehicle makes sense more in the Lexus lineup than it does in the Toyota lineup. So larger battery pack, higher cost, people will pay for it because it's a Lexus. This person is thinking that there's going to be 300 kilowatts, which is roughly 400 horse, or a little over 400 horse. That I don't think that's going to happen. That's way too aggressive for Toyota's first battery electric vehicle. I think they're going to be a lot more conservative, and I think it's probably time to get over to the spreadsheet. And no, I should probably include some more things in here, but this is just a quick drumming up of some of the cars that I cover on the channel, or am likely to cover on the channel with the Asian automakers. And the RZ 450e, what I'm expecting is they're going to take the front motor from the BZ4X, stick that in the back of the RZ450E, and then they're going to take one of the electric motors from the BZ4X all-wheel drive model, which is around 107 horsepower, and put that in the front of the vehicle. They could also flip-flop it, so they could have 201 horsepower in the front and 107 in the back. So it really depends on how Lexus wants to do it. I would prefer it to be a little bit more rear-wheel drive bias, like a lot of its competitors, like the eGMP from the Koreans out there, as well as MEB platform. I think that's what it is, from Volkswagen Auto Group. 320 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. Look, you got to realize 450E should be equivalent in power and acceleration to the 450H Plus. They're both using the 450 number. One just is a plug-in hybrid, and the other one is a fully electric. You could also look at the RX 450H normal hybrid before it gets replaced with something different that has 308 horsepower as well. So I think we're right on the money here, and I think they will put a larger battery pack, and that should get us to around 300 miles of range on the RZ450E. It's not going to be cheap. No electric car is cheap that I'm aware of, and it should probably start around 60K, maybe loaded up around 70K. Now the big question here is, I hope to ask Toyota this today during the Q&A, is how are they looking on their tax credits here in America? Because it looks like Toyota could be running out of them very soon, and it should be phasing out and dwindling out maybe by the end of this year. And if that's the case, it's going to put them at a disadvantage against some of its competition, and also a disadvantage against its own Subaru Solterra, essentially, because Subaru has plenty of tax credits, the same car as the BZ4X. But and Toyota and Lexus being essentially the same company, Lexus is not going to get the tax credits thanks to all the plug-in hybrid Toyotas that have essentially used that tax credit. But that could all change. The government could change how the incentives work this year. That has yet to be seen. And lastly, it looks like the Harrier plug-in hybrid is coming by the end of the year. Harrier, Venza, same vehicle. And it's a smart move by them, but I'm not that happy about it. Okay, so the RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid and the Lexus NX 450h Plus have the same powertrain, same battery, same motor, same engines. Okay, around 300 horsepower, 0 to 60 just under 6 seconds or so. They're taking the exact same platform, the K platform, and a similar vehicle, which is the Venza, and they're just putting that powertrain in it. And that could happen by the end of this year. Why I'm not excited about it is because we don't need more of the same. We need that powertrain in other vehicles. The problem is that hybrid powertrain is specific to Japanese production. So you're only going to see it in the RX 450h Plus. You're only going to see it in the NX. You're only going to see it in the RAV4 Prime. So the Venza / Harrier is the next likely candidate. And I'm also not that excited about it because Toyota cannot even meet the demand for the RAV4 Prime and the NX 450h Plus globally. You also have to keep in mind that Suzuki has a version of that plug-in hybrid of the Suzuki Across, I think is what it is. So they're just kind of spreading themselves thin. In Toyota's mind, how I see it is that the Venza is a little bit more premium a vehicle, and they could make more money per plug-in hybrid versus the RAV4. But what I would really love to see is a prime version of the Sienna. I have lots of kids. I don't want to buy a Chrysler minivan with a plug-in hybrid. I also would love to see a Highlander. The problem is, even though that the Highlander is built in Japan, the Kluger, the Sienna is not. And the only way we're getting this hybrid powertrain is from Japan until we get battery manufacturing up in America, which is 2025 at the earliest. So not going to get my hopes up for any plug-in hybrids outside of the Venza, NX, RX, as well as the RAV4 Prime. But I'm going to end it there. Are you guys excited for the RZ450E? Definitely stay tuned because I will give you guys official details. Hopefully that teaser site that's rumored here goes live on the 5th, and I'll break it down for you guys, see what kind of nuggets we can get out of it. And official announcement should be by the end of April, which is awesome. And on April 12th, I'll be allowed to share my driving impressions of the BZ4X. Can't wait to drive it today. Pretty amped about it. Also tonight, at the time of this recording, the GR Corolla will be revealed to the world. I'll have full details on that as well. Also, at the moment of this recording, the vehicle has been leaked to an extent, but not to the full details. I'll be able to cover it for you guys. Anyways, I got to cut myself off. Got to get ready for the day. The sun's starting to come up. Catching the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.